You might actually be right. Maybe next.
Ooh, we get Doomsday on the feature match. Holy smokes! Thank you so much. Maybe you guys know, like I'm a big fan of the archetype.
You're right. It's Trample.
Ta-da! So we do have the main feature match for round number 3. We have the Mickey, um, uh,
Arguelles.
Arguelles on Naya Depths. We saw the deck earlier in the first feature match, if you remember, against the also Death and Texas deck. However, this round he's gonna play against Robredo on Doomsday. What do you think? This is like an interesting pairing.
I don't think that's a very good pairing for Naya Dips at all, right?
Dude,
Like Naya Dips has
dude,
completely destroyed
I,
Doomsday.
I'm feeling like so happy for the Doomsday player. This is, if you play Doomsday, you know that like usually you should be worried about like counter magic or like Mickey Sack really doesn't do any of those things. He can maybe put some number of wastelands into play and try to maybe delay John a little bit, but Mickey's main goal is to make a Marit Lage, which has summoning sickness, so which cannot attack right away. Um, yeah, if I'm on John's seat, I'll be really happy to see a pairing like this.
How can Naya Depth actually interact? Like, let's say post Doomsday, is there anything they can really do to you? I mean, in the first game, I guess Collector Oof, like you rarely build piles where you like rely on LED, right?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, if you're in Doomsday, like unless you absolutely have to, you should not be playing. You should not be putting cards like LED or Lotus Petals in your pile, because of things like Collector Oof, and also because all these cards go to the graveyard, and you open yourself up to something like Endurance, which is
Hmm.
very well. It doesn't have to be, but it is staple in some of those lists.
By the way, I think we see a watery grave there.
Heck yeah,
Didn't you
that is
recently populate
it.
the trend of putting watery grave? Like maybe many watery graves into your Doomsday list?
Heck yeah, that was a few months back, and in
The
the
European Legacy Masters, when you play
it
against
was
Mengucci.
it was the winning in for the top 8 of the last on the first ELM against Andrea Mengucci, where when a judge deck teched us and saw that I registered the full play set of Watery Grave and one single Underground Sea.
We even caught it on camera, so check it out. I think I got it on my YouTube channel. And yeah, we have both players taking some mulligans. I think Sean is keeping on 6. Mickey is changing his deck apparently. Oh, okay, he was shuffling. By the way, you like if both players mulligan to 6, you can actually agree to draw 7 cards.
Oh, can you? Oh, you can agree to draw that game,
Exactly. That's what I was
right?
getting at, right?
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
technically agree to draw the game and then you like shuffle up again and draw 7 again.
Have you ever done that?
I've suggested it at times, but only like at small tournaments because if you like you wouldn't like want to explain the whole thing about it, and it's more like a meme thing, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Unless I guess you know the matchup and you know like it
Oh
might
wow.
benefit one of the players, but overall it's just like a thing that you don't really think about, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
technically you could just straight away do that.
Yeah. So Mickey taking heavy mulligans here. Um, and while mulligans kind of hurt, I do like how aggressive Mickey is with his mulligans. I don't know if he knows about Doomsday um on the other side of the table, but if he knows, then there's only very specific cards he can keep. Cards like Soul to Plowshares have absolutely no text in this matchup. Um, Wastelands are good. Endurance also beat pretty hard. Even like a quick Elvish Reclaimer as a 3/4, trying to become like a pseudo Delve of Secrets is not terrible either.
Hmm. Yeah, so you could like especially if you have Mox Diamond, right? You could be attacking for 3 as soon as turn 1.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
not, that's not terrible.
I see two ways for Arguelles to actually like do that. To put pressure on John for Doomsday. One is to have endurance. When as you mentioned, if you go for like a pile that relies on the graveyard, you can sometimes screw it up by shuffling back the graveyard to the bottom of the library. The other one is if John goes for a past the turn pile, which is like pretty popular or pretty like the most common way to do it. Maybe Mickey flashes in an unexpected endurance that actually kills, right?
Yeah.
You have a reclaimer, all of a sudden you're not like putting like 3 damage, but 6 damage. That could do it. And from my side, when I play like decks like this, one of the most common ways for me to actually win after a Doomsday is to Wasteland. to
Yeah,
just like go waste one
totally.
wasteland. Maybe you have like a knight, you can make another wasteland. It works better when you have like I guess like also Magos of the Moon, because you're like attacking them on in many different ways. You got either the wastelands or the Magos. But overall, I don't know. Maybe wastelands are gonna be a key to victory here.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like there are only this many things that a Doomsday player can think of, or can try to play around after a Doomsday, and the key is to basically hit the one spot that's kind of vulnerable, and it's not always easy to see where it is, but
Oh, dude, that's the most painful turn one I've seen from Doomsday in a while, other than actually casting Doomsday. Oh, and he's whoa. What is that
yeah,
mulligan to 3?
that was a mulligan to 3 cards.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like we need literally demonic tutor every single turn now to maybe like we need literally wasteland now. Oh, we didn't draw it. Picks up another thought. He's like, do I even need this?
Yeah. Like yeah, if I
Oh,
was
we found Doomsday.
yeah,
Oh, God.
if I was John, I would feel very confident in this game.
Okay, so which kind of pile do we build here? It looks like we're gonna have a pile next turn with Lotus Petal to Doomsday, and then pass the turn with like a brainstorm to draw into it, and a cycler in hand as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can build like
So
the perfect pile.
you can, and you probably also have the tools to win the game right after. And if I was John, I would even consider just going for it. Because Mickey has not, like, it's not a cantrip deck. He gets another blind draw from the top, and it can potentially be an endurance, but the first copy is already in the graveyard. There's just not a lot of cards in Mickey's deck that can punish John's deck, at least on his turn. So the number of the number of relevant cards are so limited that it might just be okay to not pass. Let's see.
Is there anything Reclaimer can dig up that actually gets you? Like Bochuka Bog doesn't do it, right? Is there anything, any land? I mean, there used to be this blue land that mills you, that elves sometimes play.
Oh, if you Rivulet, yeah, people should please stop playing that card. That card is terrible, and it also makes me really sad. So just kidding. Buy all copies.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, going straight for the fetch here. And as
Yeah.
you mentioned, right, we have to pull. We not only have the Lotus Petal to make the Doomsday. Actually, we don't need to shuffle if we play Doomsday. I'm one of those guys. I don't like useless shuffling. If we play Doomsday now,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to shuffle my deck.
You
Like,
play you
I
play
only shuffle
Doomsday.
because-
You play Doomsday in response shuffle or something like that.
exactly.
And here we go, Doomsday.
Okay, here we go. Cool, Doomsday.
So it's one of the one of the two sorceries from Weatherlight that combo well with Thassa's Oracle. The other one is Paradigm Shift, which is also a sorcery from the very same set. So what Doomsday does is Doomsday is Vampiric Tutor times 5, and you lose half of your library rounded up. Rounded up, yeah. So you pick the 5 best cards, and all you want to do is find the best 5 to cast a lethal Thassa's Oracle, either on the same turn or maybe like a turn or two after.
By the way, you know how it works on Magic Online? On Magic Online, if you select cards for your Doomsday from your graveyard, your opponent will know you selected those cards.
Oh yeah, you gotta do the same in paper too. Like when I play Doomsday, I actively tell my opponent, okay, so I pick these 4 cards and then I pick this 1 card from
Oh,
the
you do
graveyard.
that in paper?
I do that. I have to.
Oh,
Like,
that's how
yeah,
it works?
yeah. It's my job to do it. Like
Oh, I didn't. So
yeah,
how is it actually worded? So it's not like you put everything into exile and then you pick from there?
no, like you gotta keep the graveyard where it is. And if you want to pick up a card from the graveyard, you have to like point it out and then put them together.
How many Doomsday players do actually do that?
Uh, I want most Doomsday players to do it.
Okay. Okay, now here we go. Oh, that was a very quick pile.
Yeah, and this is like one of those classic piles. I'm just quickly gonna go through the motions here. So the brainstorm right after Doomsday gives you an LED, and you have a cycler now in hand, which you use to draw on your top card of your deck. And while you do so, you also crack your Lionside Diamond for triple blue mana, and so you converted Lionside Diamond to black
Into triple blue mana,
and
then you
basically
can the Befred.
yeah, yeah, and then say go. I don't know. You have a show and tell, and just nothing put nothing in.
Yeah, show and tell Oracle, dude. I
That-
mean, that's in a way it's a protection spell. They have to counter the show and tell and the Oracle.
That's very right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I put many Thassa's Oracle into show and tells,
Yeah, yeah.
like lethal Thassa's Oracles into show and tell.
Okay, it looks like Mickey has a response though. Which kind of response would you have here? Like the it looks like the LED is actually still on the stack, right? And we're responding to the LED.
The LED is there. I could think about maybe something like maybe a Boseiju, maybe a channel Boseiju or something like that
Ooh,
response.
but it can't be like the LED has to be on the stack.
No, but like you can
Oh,
Boseiju
thank you.
maybe like a land and make them shuffle their
Oh,
library or something like that.
oh, I like
But
that.
it looks like we already put the cycling effect of Edge of Autumn on the stack, and John wants to keep priority here and crack the LED.
That would be a pretty big fail if you didn't keep priority, right?
So that you can mess that up on Magic Online quite a lot, actually.
Actually, we have to sacrifice a land, dude. Dude.
Oh yeah, no, he did. Yeah, he sacrificed the underground sea.
Okay, okay, I didn't see that. Awesome.
Now we gotta consider. Yeah, always bottom the next card. The next card should be another cycler, and that draws a lethal Thassa's Oracle.
Okay, Mickey, dude, Mickey is really making John sweat. I can't think of a card that you would have in the main deck that still gets him here.
Yeah.
He's got something. Come on, do it. I want to learn something. He might actually. Does he have like sorts of plowshares? I mean, it wouldn't do anything, but at least
Yeah.
you would make you think. Maybe like if John like screws up the pile and there's just like one card left, and then he sorts the plowshares the Oracle.
Oh, absolutely.
It can happen. Like when somehow you can't cycle as much or anything like fails, then sorts of plowshares can actually do it. But here, yeah, Gaia's Blessing. Oh, Gaia's Blessing would be cool, right? Because it makes you reshuffle something from your graveyard into
Yeah.
your.
It's okay. If it was an instant, it would be even better. It's unfortunate. It's a sorcery.
No, I'm just like trying to because chat is saying Gaia's Blessing, but actually Gaia's Blessing doesn't do anything. At least here right now. Okay, okay. Oh, once again, Cyber Plan.
Yeah, man. Like all
These players are prepared. I'm prepared to play in this tournament.
what's up with those?
Like they know what they're doing.
What's up with those sheets?
That's unfair. That's actually unfair. No. Okay, good that we're here.
Guys, you know what? If there's like one advice I can give you is like you just put that sheet right into your brain, for God's sake. Just you gotta like if I had to look up like sideboarding guides and things like that during the tournament, I would probably go crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like I usually try to memorize everything, and then I do small changes on the fly based on like the cards I see from opponents, because not every Naya depth stack looks exactly the same.
But the thing is, okay, so I also like I don't use those guides in Legacy, but the thing is, just because your guide says to sideboard in a way doesn't mean you actually are gonna sideboard in a way. Maybe it's just gonna give you a rough idea, and then you still the thing that we talk about, right? The where you adjust to what your opponent's presenting you. But
yeah, maybe that's all right. Maybe I just get distracted too like very easily. But if I have like a manual in front of me and then I have to make a compromise between the manual and then my own thoughts, and
okay,
I would probably like shuffle with a kind of like bittersweet taste in my mouth, where I just don't know where I'm at, or maybe I just overboarded maybe a little bit too much, or like I want to I want to go as easy into the match as possible and as relaxed as much as possible to not
Bob Wang actually once wrote an article for Channel Fireball where he talked about like how sideboard plans are actually detrimental to you improving as a player, unless you like really understand why like a lot of those changes are being made. And I hate it. Like actually, I don't hate when people ask me for sideboard plans for something, because it shows that they value my input, right?
Yeah, I mean they care.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I hate making sideboard guides. What I prefer is to write like small paragraphs about cards, like what they do in a certain matchup and like what I think about them in a certain matchup. But it's not like a hard rule of like -2/+2 here. You know what I mean? That's what.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like overall, guy, like you can like group cards together,
Yeah,
right? And be like like against easy example, like against stretch, you want graveyard hate, but it
you do.
well.
Master, enlighten us.
Thank you.
What else is there?
Oh, for more info, yeah, follow my Patreon, which is not even there out there yet, but
Pre-marketing, we call it.
yeah. All right, so yeah, on to game number 2. Maybe I can talk a little bit about the Doomsday sideboard. Like Doomsday sideboards are built to beat most decks, but not Naya depths. Like Naya depths is usually not on the radar when building sideboards. However,
no Archmage's Charm to steal the token. That would be something.
That'd be sweet, dude. They gotta print like a blue dark ritual for this first, but
oh, true.
yeah.
True.
But I could see like cards like Forceful Negation. That's like a card I always bring in versus Naya Depths because I fear Deafening Silence. That's like one of those like haymakers in post sideboard games because what Deafening Silence does is like it shuts off all rituals and all Lotus Petals, and now all of a sudden I have to get 3 Underground Teas in play against a deck full of Wastelands, and
Mhm.
that's one way how to lose the game. Um, and then there's obviously like things like endurance, maybe even like a higher number of endurance. Naya Depths also has access to red, so you have to respect things like Pyroblast.
Oh yeah, actually the Pyroblast can be super annoying because if they somehow manage to shut off your mana base and then you still need to get the. So here's the thing, the the holy trinity of disrupting Doomsday with Naya Depth. You want Collector Oath to shut off the artifact mana. You want Wastelands to shut off like the dual lands, and you want the last card I forgot. Oh, Pyroblast. Yeah, Pyroblast to make it so that you can actually try to fight over like maybe a Forceful or the Oracle itself.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Oh,
just remember why I like Pyroblast? Because obviously not in this deck. When you have Magus of the Moon, Pyroblast is insane because it turns off Cavern of Souls.
oh, that's really
Yeah,
nice.
see, that's what you want to do.
That's really nice. Yeah.
You know, take out all your Dark Depths, have like 4 Magus of the Moon in the sideboard. This is the new plan. We are Dragon Stompy now.
Okay. John has an extremely fast hand. This is a turn 1 Doomsday of Lotus Petal and Cabal Ritual. So yeah, must be really happy about this. Mickey, on the other hand, there is the Deafening Silence we talked about earlier. So that card is gonna shut off
Whoa.
that turn 1 Doomsday, right? No load, like he can deploy Lotus Petal, but no Cabal Ritual. Doomsday has to wait for another turn.
Also, that card makes me think we're gonna build a Cycler pile, right?
Oh yeah,
It's so much more likely that we're gonna try to go through the Cyclers here.
it's possible, dude. And this is like exactly what we talked about earlier, right? Like slowing down John and Collector Oof to punish LEDs and Lotus Petals.
Also, the Cycler piles usually there's a little more common to use artifact mana and Cycler piles like LEDs and stuff, I guess. And now we probably got LEDs shut off, dude. I don't hate this for Mickey.
Yeah, this is not
Even
this
like
is
we have a
not
treatment
terrible.
play now as well. By the way, everybody watching, get your friends in here. We got, well, actually, I was going to say like 5 more rounds. No, we actually got 8 more rounds of Legacy coming up after this. We got 8 rounds of Swiss, 175 players trying to become the next Impact Returns champion. 10th anniversary of this tournament having been created. We are still trying to find out where the name Impact Returns comes from because even the organizers don't know. They took over from another organizer, but he's in the hall. So Kai, throughout the day, we might actually try to find out where the name comes from. And
Hopefully, yeah.
this is the second biggest Legacy event of the year. If you're not already following, do that and get your friends in here. Get your friends, get your enemies in here. And just make this one of the biggest Legacy streams that we got around. So especially the people making this, they started out 10 guys in a bar hanging out 10 years ago, just trying to be playing Legacy. And now look where we took this.
Yeah.
Like the whole city of Naron, like the giant metropolis of Naron, they decided, you know, some people want like a stage for the Tour de France, some people want to have the World Cup, the Olympics. They want a legacy, an elite legacy tournament. I can't believe this. Like, why is Berlin not
like,
doing this? Yeah, yeah.
They want it. They got it. Awesome. Meanwhile, John played a Thassa's Oracle before Doomsday, and put a fetch land on top, which is finally the 3rd mana source for Doomsday. So we're gonna see a Doomsday this turn versus a Reclaimer and a Collector Oof. And here's the problem, right? So usually when you cast Doomsday and pass the turn, your life is under attack, and like you have to close out the game very quickly. However, this Thassa's Oracle is an excellent blocker.
True. 1-3.
Yeah, it's a 1/3, so it can completely break the Collector Oof, and the Reclaimer only like punches in for like 1 point of damage. That's just not a lot of pressure. So John can go for a real slow pile here if he chooses to do so.
Actually, this is actually crazy because the second Oracle makes it so that we have Devotion of 4.
You do.
So if we really have to, and we think there's no swords to plowshares, we could go for like the most shallow of shallow piles just draw the top card and then go very deep with the devotion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You've done it. Have you ever had like devotion to 5 of 5? But you only ever play like one oracle, right? You're one of those guys.
I mean, I know I've had a devotion to 6 one day.
What?
But that was like I had a lot of Baleful Strix in play.
Oh, okay. Devotion for my entire deck. Sure,
Dude,
that's how you do it.
Smokes.
So yeah, we already talked about this might be like a cycler pile, but we already scrolled past 2 cyclers, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Dude, this is where we need the secret under the table camera with like the
Right.
see-through, like the one-sided mirrors, like where you can, like when you interview or like interrogate like a suspect, you can see through the mirror, but they can't see you.
Mm.
We need that from under the table.
Oh, dude, totally. Yeah, at all times. Yeah, John is probably worried about an endurance. He also wants to be at least one Pyroblast. The Elfish Reclaimer is going to be active next turn, so like if he passes too often, the Reclaimer can also get something like a Wasteland, for example. There's a few things that John has to keep in mind, and also again, like Mickey can technically also threaten a Merit Lage relatively soon if he has a crop rotation.
I'm curious. So you're in John's spot. Which kind of pile do you build here? You have to make the
So
call.
I saw a Nihil Spellbomb. I would 100% slam dunk that card. It nukes your own graveyard, so you are not as vulnerable to endurance anymore. Also, it cantrips, and it is not blue, so it's a cantrip that cannot be Pyroblasted. It's pretty nice. You wanna avoid things like Street Race, for example, I think, because they just deal too much damage, and you might be in a spot where you cannot Street Rave anymore, because it's just too much damage, right? Things like that.
Do you still put your opponent on Swords to Plowshares? It's super unlikely, right?
It is unlikely, but Mickey kept a few Swords to Plowshares in. I saw that, which is okay. Like it is not a it's most of the time, Doomsday can play around it, but you make your Doomsday opponent play around it, and that's already
that's worth something.
Yeah, that's worth something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we looking at? We got the Cavern to beat
We got a Thoughtseize in there, right?
We got a Thoughtseize for to beat Endurance, maybe
2 cyclers, and
it can even it can beat Endurance. It can also maybe discard a Minskaboo before it comes down, maybe. But looks like we are set here for the top pile, and wow, and we do see an Endurance immediately. Maybe
that makes me okay. Yeah, the Doomsday bait. Oh, did Mickey think that like the exile goes to the bottom of? No.
that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be
put like 50 cards onto your library.
So I mean, there's one card that goes to the bottom of the library here. That's Doomsday, and I think if you like John put the Thoughtseize in there, right? Just because he wants to go after the Endurance. So in a way, John already got what he wanted without even having to cast the Thoughtseize, which is like to get the Endurance out of the way and to put your Doomsday on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to be careful. He just like put the Doomsday into his hand, but he just removed it. Whoa.
No, the Doomsday's right.
Oh, there's another Doomsday in his hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he even got confused, right?
Yeah.
So he put away the Doomsday. Was like, oh no, it's over there. Yeah, Doomsday, German, das jüngste Gericht. Okay, I think we got this figured out now. Mickey also fetching at the end step. Probably going to activate Elfish Reclaimer. We'll see whether he's got to have some spice in here. Maybe he even has that land that I will never try to even pronounce, but that Kai actually has mentioned earlier. Kai, help me out again. What is that land called that we are maybe trying to look for here? Because we're probably going to see an end of turn. Oh, no, okay, we're going after Dried Arbor. See? Yeah, makes sense. I mean, the Reclaimer was sick anyway.
The Reclaimer was sick anyway. Ninky, like, he has to kind of race, right? Like, the game is going to be over in just a few minutes. And if Mickey can't kill John in time, then he's doomed. Like he's
doomed.
Like I mean, like
loving it.
He knows the game is gonna be over, right? So we do see an interesting attack here. Yeah, that's not too bad. We can use the Reclaimer to cycle that
What's going on
Dried
there?
Arbor
Oh, yeah,
into
makes sense.
probably something, maybe even a Dark Depths.
Honestly, Wasteland probably, I would guess. I mean, if he's got nothing, like Dark Depths is gonna be too slow at this point. Oh, okay, we're going for it.
Yeah, like Wasteland, man, like versus 3 Underground Sea, Wasteland is so
Yeah.
medium.
The only
Like,
the only reason I'm not a fan of it is because then we give John like 2 turns to make it work. Yeah. John did a smart pile. There's a Brazen Borrower in the pile, chat is saying. I didn't
yeah,
notice the Brazen Borrower, but actually maybe that's the one card I missed. So
yeah,
that would be the top card because I didn't actually see the top card. Could have actually been a top Brazen Borrower.
yeah, that's not bad either. Just like that's a hopefully I just let me live for a few more turns before I cast a lethal Thassa's Oracle type of pile, you know. Just making
Mhm.
sure that
Okay, in a way, actually, that's kind of cool, right? So by Brazen Borrowing, you're actually like if Mickey goes for the combo, you got like 2 ways to stop the combo. You bounce the token, and you even technically have a jump blocker if you want to. Proceed Security Step maybe not in the deck anymore.
yeah.
This is kind of cool. Yeah, John can chill, man.
Yeah,
Like John
yeah,
got all
John
the time in the world at
yeah,
this
John
point.
has a lot of time here.
I mean, Mickey, considering this was a mulligan to 3, no, was the first game a mulligan to 3? Or
Yeah, and the second game was like a mull to 6, I believe,
okay,
or something
okay.
like that. Yeah.
He's putting up a fight. Considering that this is one of his worst matchups in the meta game, he's putting up a fight. Okay, and John goes for the throat. John wants to have this next turn.
All right. Yeah, this is a message. All right. Doesn't even care about the Dark Depths. So if you AOT bounce bounce the Deafening Silence, you know the game is over. The game is over. Like there's not gonna be an attack step for the Merit Lage, unfortunately.
Yeah, and now he's perfect information. He fires off the Thoughtseize. He goes down to 3. And we're going to be doing a lot of cycling. Caravan. Yeah, and we got enough devotion. That Dark Depth in hand is not going to do it for you. Your claim is tapped. There's no piece of hidden information. John moves on to 3-0 on Doomsday. Good. Kai, are we going to see Doomsday in the top 8?
Hopefully.
Dude, I want to see Doomsday in the
Hopefully.
top 8. Doomsday is
Yeah.
just like flavor-wise, it's one of the coolest decks.
Congratulations. Yeah. Like if you enjoy Dark Rituals, like Doomsday is definitely one of the cooler decks to play. Actually I liked all Dark Ritual decks because like even the mono black Helm deck also plays Dark Ritual. That's also pretty interesting, you know.